Hi, in this video we are going to explore mindset and the importance of it. And I've been in internet marketing now for 10 years and trying to escape the 9 to 5 and mitigate the obstacles in retirement that I kind of foresaw. I just wanted a different lifestyle. I wanted to be free and do things that I dreamed of doing. And so I thought, internet marketing would be the way to go. And so it's kind of a long story about how I got there. But, over the years, I have studied a lot of people. We can call them gurus. We call them, and I don't really think that does them justice at the end of the day because, we can look at people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Bob Proctor, Russell Brunson, um, you know, Jonathan Montoya. Many of you may not have ever heard of him. He's somebody that I've been watching, really explode in his business for the last 5 years. And that's his theme, is to fire your 9 to 5. And you know, I'll be honest with you that probably the first, out of those 10 years that I've had my business, and made money, a little bit of money here and there, but never made a profit. And not many people are going to admit that to you. A lot of people online right now are, talking about the millions that they make, and the truth is that they're out there promoting something that they've never even done themselves. A lot of people, and you begin to see through that. So, my point here though is that mindset, and I used to hear that a lot, mindset, and my attitude and my mindset was, I don't have time for that hogwash. I don't have time for that woo-woo stuff. Just show me the blueprint, show me the roadmap, and let me make the money. And so, what I've ended up doing is I've wasted a lot of time because my mindset wasn't where it was supposed to be. Robert Kiyosaki is a great example for me, and an inspiration. And every one of these people that I have mentioned here are kind of like a coach. They're my mentors, and I get something different from all of them. And the thing about Robert Kiyosaki, have to tell you, is that for the longest time, for years and years, I remember, in fact, when the book Poor Dad Rich Dad was published, and I started to read it, and it was kind of corny to me, and I wasn't into that, what appeared to me to be mushy stuff, and the mindset that was presented. So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I read the book, and I read Cash Flow Quadrant. And what I realized, and it was an epiphany for me, that mindset is everything. And if you haven't read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I want to encourage you to do that. If you're really serious about uh, you know, being successful in any business, and is you need to read that book. It should be a prerequisite in school, because the mindset and the story that Robert Kiyosaki tells between his best friend's dad, who was rich, and his dad, who they had money, but he was poor. And what the difference between them was the mindset. It was this mindset that between a wealth mentality and a poor mentality. And to give you an example of what that looks like in real life, you'll never believe this, but not too long ago, I was sitting at an intersection. And in the middle of this intersection was a large crescent wrench that obviously had fallen off somebody's work truck. And I don't know how much that crescent wrench was worth. It could have been a $7 crescent wrench from the discount store, and it could have been $100 wrench from, a name brand store. But it didn't matter. And I was thinking, that's really unfortunate that whoever lost their wrench. But this guy gets out of his truck over in the other side of the intersection and starts making his way out there, around traffic and between lights. And he is determined that he's going to get this wrench. And I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. This guy's out here trying to get this wrench, risking his life. And it doesn't matter if that wrench was a $500 wrench. This guy's put his life on the line. And I don't know where you're from, but in some places, people don't care. You are really putting your life on the line. And he got out there and he got that wrench, and good for him. But you know what I was thinking? That is a broke mentality. That is broke mentality, that you're willing to put your life on the line for a wrench. And what that says is that's a mentality that is used to exchanging time for money, life for money. And so you got to get out of that mindset that everything you see is a representation of your life. And you get into a wealth mindset that it doesn't matter if it's a $2 item, it's worth the world to you if it's got that kind of value. So I wanted to just share that with you. And so many times it's not just the mindset, it is the mindset, but there's so many aspects to the mindset that hold us back. And one of those aspects that holds us back is the fear and fear takes shape in a lot of ways, but is the fear of failure. And this comes out in so many different ways. When we create a product, we want it to be perfect. I'm going to just start over there. And there's been a day that I would have went and erased that. But we want everything to be perfect before we pull the trigger and we put a product out. And if you've ever done that, you spend days doing it instead of hours. And you want everything to just be just right. And what you find out, and I have found this out the hard way, is that when I put a product out there, I end up having to redo it or do a lot of reworking in it as I learn the things that aren't working. So all that extra effort I put in there was a waste of time. And so the fear of failure or perfectionism will stifle you. And along with failure comes giving up. And when people fail, they stop trying. And they walk away and say, well, that didn't work, or I've tried that. And, if you look at anybody, and these people that I've just mentioned here, Frank Kern's, for example, I was studying Frank Kern's back 10 years ago, and I was watching some of his old videos. You may be able to dig some of them up today. But he tells a story of marketing, and I believe it was the FTC came after him I don't know the particulars, but he got in trouble. And it was absolutely stifling, the story that he tells. And I'm thinking, dang, I'd just hang it up right there. But not Frank Kern. He came back with a vengeance, and he did not give up. And look at who he is today. He is an accomplished marketer. If there's anybody out there that will promote value and help people, it's Frank Kern. And then there's Gary Vaynerchuk. And the little bit that I know about him is, he came up from a poor family. He started out selling wine, and he got on the internet and started making videos on YouTube every day. And that's how he got started. And look at him today. He's got his hands into all kinds of things. He is a true entrepreneur. And then you have Bob Proctor, and he's got a story. And you have Russell Brunson. And one of the stories Russell talked about and I read was that, he used to sit there and look at the ads in the back of comic books and magazines. And he would, dream about doing marketing. And then one day he bought this mailing list of millions of emails, and he started emailing them. And he went to bed thinking, I'm going to wake up rich in the morning. Instead, he woke up in the morning with his inbox and his email stuffed with spam complaints, And so all these kinds of things are where the majority of people stop, instead of stopping and looking at what they did and what they did wrong and owning it and fixing it and moving forward. And so, you can't stop trying. And failure is not failure. Failure is a learning opportunity. Learn from your mistakes. Yeah, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But here's the problem, is that everybody sees the victory of these people. And, just today I was looking at some material that Jonathan Montoya put out. And he tells a story about him and his wife living in this dilapidated travel trailer on his parents' land. And he tells his wife, just stick with me. And so, he fired his 9 to 5, and he's an educated man. And his family is living the lifestyle that most people dream of. And what we don't see is we see the lifestyle, we see the cars, the houses, or whatever we want to see. But what we don't see is we don't see the struggles. We don't see the battles. We don't see the journey that people have taken to get where they're at. And so if you're sitting there today and you're thinking about, whatever it is you're thinking about, online marketing, maybe it's, affiliate marketing, maybe it's multi-level marketing, e-commerce, whatever it is, you're going to meet some battles and some roadblocks, and you're going to experience some failure. And get in there each time that you experience any kind of failure and evaluate it and look at and list it down. Look and list. That's a good one. I just made that up. But look and list what went well. Because in the midst of failure, something went right. Something, even if it's a little thing. And then look at what went wrong. And don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Learn from it. And I hope this was an encouragement for you. And if it was an encouragement, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. And because I really want to encourage you to keep pushing forward. Learn from your experience. And that's all it is. Failure is an experience. Success is an experience. And it doesn't come easy. And in this business, so many people are out there pushing this idea that you can, that with a hack, that you can, sign up to 3 or 4 websites and you can do this and do that and bring it all together and make $1,000 a day, and that's probably possible. Somewhere somebody did something that made them $1,000 a day. But when I sit back and think, why isn't everybody doing that? And so everybody's trying it, and everybody will fail. And only a small proportion of people, only a small percentage will keep trying. And I have to tell you, I'm one of that small percentage. And I wish I knew what I knew today 10 years ago when I started. But all I wanted was the hacks. All I wanted was the quick wins. And sure, there's quick wins, but they're small, and you build on those. And it's like building a wall. You don't want just one brick, you want a bunch of bricks. And so that's what a small win is. It's a brick, and you just keep building on it. And sometimes you're going to get some bad bricks, bad experiences, but learn from them and get that mindset that, we're not trading time for money. We are building assets. We are getting away from liabilities, and we're building assets in digital assets, where every blog post, every web page, every video, everything that you do, every email is an asset. So I hope this was helpful. And again, if you're encouraged, put a comment down in the comments below and write encouraged. And I will see you in the next video. Here's to your success, and God bless you.